Hey there, it's the holiday season, and what better way to get into the spirit than by watching some of the best Christmas movies out there? The question is, with so many options, how do you choose the perfect film for your holiday movie marathon? Well, I've got you covered. I did an analysis using data from IMDB to find out which Christmas movies are actually the best to watch, based on criteria that are not just ratings. Deciding which one to watch was definitely the tricky part. In my last video about finding the perfect horror movie, link in the description by the way if you haven't seen that, I promised to follow up with this video, so let's get right to it. I imported my data and I used the count canvas to lay out everything that I needed for my analysis. Then I picked apart this dataset and I found out a few things that are really important for what came afterwards. At around the 500 vote mark on average per film, movies start to gain a lot more traction. They get more votes and their rating rises as well. There's a cluster of movies that have the most votes per title on average, around the 8 average rating mark. Different genres had vastly different average ratings, with all of them not grouped around the normally distributed average of 5, which we would have expected for a 1 to 10 rating system. So unexpectedly, the observed average was actually between 6 and 7, with very, very big differences between the genres. The last thing I saw is that the amount of time that has passed since a movie was released doesn't mean that the movie has had a chance to get more votes. The movies that have gotten the most votes have actually been the ones that have been released in the last 20 years, with 2 minor exceptions. Based on those findings, I couldn't just apply some filters and boom, have the result of a movie, because there isn't an actual genre that describes Christmas. So I needed to dive deeper and try and find a way to manage the genres in a different way. Let's take a look how I did that. When I looked at each genre individually, it didn't work because there's too much variance between them and there's no Christmas genre. So I decided to think about genres from an emotional standpoint: positive, neutral, and negative. And as you can see in this chart, I was able to group these genres together and then look at how they rate on average. Funnily enough, this chart also turned out to look like a Christmas tree. Seeing as it's the holiday season, I decided to not look at the negative emotion genres and only focus on the positive and neutral ones. Despite clumping the genres together into these groups, I still didn't have a way of knowing how Christmassy a movie was. I needed to get creative, and that method ended up being titles. Titles have a few words in them, and I could scan all the titles and find out which ones had Christmas-related words. But what words should I use to describe Christmas other than the word Christmas? I looked at a couple of word lists, and I came up with a unique set of 50 plus words and phrases that are related to Christmas. Everything from winter to candle to prancer. Then I scanned all the titles for matches to those words, and the ones that had a match, I gave a 1. All the others got a 0. Then all I needed to do was add them all up, and I could look at which genres had the highest ratio of Christmas movies in it. To no one's surprise, family and comedy had the highest ratio of Christmas movie matches. But what did that mean for the next step of my analysis? I could now use this ratio to look at, within the positive and neutral genres, which one actually has the highest ratio. As we saw earlier, comedy is the positive winner, but in the neutral category, it's actually drama. Filtering for just those 2 genres, I created a data frame, and I was able to make 2 scatter plots, one for each genre, where I could pick the best movie of each, based on the factors of average rating, the runtime, and the number of votes that they had received. The highest rated, most voted comedy Christmas movie ended up being A Christmas Story. It's a 1980s family-friendly movie where a young boy is trying to convince everyone around him about the perfect gift. The best rated, most voted drama movie, on the other hand, ended up being A Christmas Carol, also known as Ebenezer Scrooge. Scrooge is a 1950s movie about an older man who sees Christmas as a large waste of time. But then he gets unexpected visitors on Christmas Eve who attempt to show him that he's probably wrong about Christmas. But of course, the best Christmas movie, no matter what data says, is Die Hard. So grab some hot chocolate and cozy up on the sofa, for your Christmas movie. Which one did you pick? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to check out the full analysis, my link to the count canvas is in the description. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you in the next one.